let's go over how to find surface area. The formula for finding the surface area of a revolution comes from the formula for arc length, with a bit of a difference, that formula being the integral from a to b of the square root of 1 plus f prime of x squared dx. We'll start with a basic surface area formula, where r is your average radius. Plug in the formula for arc length with the radius in the integral. Then the formula for surface area will become 2 pi times the integral from a to b of f of x times the square root of 1 plus f prime of x squared dx. That's the formula if you have a horizontal axis of revolution, you're using x. However, if you have a vertical axis of revolution, it's basically the same thing. The formula is 2 pi times the integral from a to b of f of y times the square root of 1 plus f prime of y squared dy. The key difference between surface area and arc length is that the function is included and it must go inside of the integral in order for this to work. Now we can find both the volume and the surface area of graphs like these. Let's do a few examples. Example 1. Find the surface area of the solid form by rotating the graph of f of x is equal to x squared about the x-axis from 0 to 2. We can draw this graph out right here and you'll see it has a cone shape. The next thing we'll do is find f prime of x, which is 2x. Then all we have to do is plug that into our formula, so we get 2 pi times the integral from 0 to 2 of x squared times the square root of 1 plus 2x squared dx. All we have to do is simplify that down and evaluate. Using a calculator here you get 53.226 units squared. Let's go over another example. Example 2. Find the surface area of the solid form by rotating the square root of 9 minus x squared about the x-axis from negative 2 to 2. Our axis of rotation is still horizontal, so we'll be using the formula 2 pi times the integral from negative 2 to 2 of f of x times the square root of 1 plus f prime of x squared dx. So naturally, first we'll have to find f prime of x. That is pretty easily found if you know basic calculus, basic differentiation skills, and so we get negative x over 2 times the square root of 9 minus x squared. Now all we have to do is plug that into our formula as seen here. It looks really nasty at first, but all you have to do is simplify it down and you end up with 3 over the square root of 9 minus x squared, and those 9 minus x squared square rooted cancel out, and so we end up just having 2 pi times the integral from negative 2 to 2 of 3 dx. Evaluate that and you get 2 pi times 6 plus 6, which is 24 pi. And I rewrote that twice. And all you have to do to find surface area is just follow that formula. It's really not that bad at all.